Welcome back to the second episode of The Topic. Today I'm your new host, Don Bonasissi, and I'm here with
Deshaun Alexander, and we're just going to continue to talk about sports locally and around the world.
To start off today's show, we're going to be looking around campus and checking in on the sports teams at Shepherd University.
Shepherd football this past weekend had a convincing win over the Bloomsburg Huskies. Unfortunately, the Shepherd Rams started out the season 0-4, but have slowly been coming back. They are currently 3-4. This upcoming weekend, they play East Stroudsburg University in a big game that I believe will dictate how the rest of the season goes. Not only is this a big game, but it's also homecoming weekend, so many family and alumni are going to be coming back to support the Shepherd Rams.
Next team we got is the men's soccer team. This last weekend, they played number 13 in the nation, Bloomsburg, as well. And they unfortunately took the loss 3-1, and they fall to 5-7 on the season.
Shepherd women's soccer beat Shippensburg and Lock Haven, and they both beat them 4-0, and they are now currently at 6-1-5.
And the last team we're going to cover is the volleyball team. They played Fairmont State this last weekend, and they won 3-2. And they have a game this weekend coming up October 24th against Shippensburg, and they're 16-5 right now. Moving on to the NFL now, there's one game from Week 7 that we want to talk about most importantly, and it was the Broncos and Giants game. The final score of the game was 33-32 with the Broncos coming out on top. The Broncos were trailing in the game 19-0 with about 11 minutes left in the fourth quarter and had a dramatic comeback win, and special teams played a big part in the game, and Deshaun wants to talk about it.
Yeah, I think this game just shows how important special teams is. You know, the Giants lost by 1 point because the kicker missed 2 extra points in that game. And I know many people are like, oh, it's just an extra point. But as you can see, the Broncos came back and they beat the Giants by 1 score. Later, the Giants kicker was released as a result of that game and his performance.
Speaking of special teams, we want to segue this into our interview we had with the Shepherd University long snapper, Braden Bowers.
What's up? It's Deshaun Alexander with another episode of The Topic. Today, we're interviewing Shepherd football's long snapper, Braden Bowers. Thank you for your time. So, to get things rolling, what exactly is a long snapper? Many people don't know what it is, so can you explain what a long snapper is?
So a long snapper is a person that on fourth down will go out onto the field with the punter, with the punt unit, and snap the ball back to them for the punter to kick the ball. And then for field goals and extra points, it's the person that snaps it to the holder for the kick.
And how important is special teams? You know, you have field goal, kickoff, and punt. But what is so important about those things?
Special teams is just as important as offense and defense. Can change a game. 3 points on a field goal could change a game. A point on an extra point could change a game. And like big splash plays on kickoff and kick return also are huge momentum shifters.
And now this is your second season at Shepherd. You transferred last season. What has been your favorite memory at Shepherd?
My favorite memory at Shepherd was probably, honestly, my first game at Southern Connecticut. We shut them out, and on the first punt, I had a tackle.
Great. And what got you into long snapping?
My junior year of high school, our long snapper wasn't very good, and I thought I could do it, so I just started teaching myself. And then after that season, my junior season going into my senior year, I started going to camps and getting trained and stuff like that.
And now you've been battling with, injuries the last couple of years. What kind of keeps you motivated, and just what keeps you going during injuries?
Honestly, my teammates and just the team in general, just wanting to play for my team and just wanting to keep pushing for not only myself but everyone else on the team.
Well,
I know they push for me.
From Braden Bowers. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, bro.
That interview, Deshaun, great job. I loved watching that. And now we're going to go to talking about some of the scores from Week 8. The New York Jets pick up their first win of the season. They're the final team to get a win in the 2025 season. They beat the Cincinnati Bengals, who fall to 3-5. They won 39-38 in a shootout. Came back at the end, scored the second touchdown in the final minutes of the game. And Justin Fields had himself a day, 21 for 32 for 244 yards and a touchdown. So it's good to see the New York Jets finally get a win, as they've been having a tough season so far.
Speaking of wins, the Ravens beat the Bears yesterday, 30-16, and it's about time they started Tyler Huntley as the backup quarterback. I don't know why. They had Cooper Rush playing. The dude is not good. The fans have been saying start Tyler Huntley, and when they started him, he was 17 for 22. He had 186 yards and one touchdown. Rushing wise, Derrick Henry had 2 touchdowns, 21 carries for 71 yards. Now, do I think this is like revolutionary for the Ravens season? No. Lamar's obviously still injured. The Bears aren't like the best team, but hopefully this is some motivation for the Ravens to get their season together and continue to move forward.
I still think that's a good win as the Bears are 4-3. The Ravens could turn their season around as they're only, two and a half games out of first place in the division. They have an easy stretch of games coming up, so they could be in play to win their division at the end of the season. And the next game I'm going to talk about is the Giants and Eagles, as the Eagles beat the Giants 38-20 to improve to 6-2 on the season, as the Giants fall to 2-6. Cam Scatterboo dislocated his ankle, gruesome injury, terrible injury, and start with a new segment on this show. Panic or no panic. If you're a fan of these NFL teams, should you be panicking about your team or should you stay patient? First team we got, Baltimore Ravens. Deshaun, what do you think?
I'm a Ravens fan. Honestly, it's rough being a Ravens fan. Just the countless playoff disappointments last year, that Bills game, and then choking to the Bills this year too. I mean, I don't know. I remember seeing this graph. It was like the Ravens leads going into the fourth quarter, and there's like 20 plus, and they lost all of those games. So we can't win in the playoffs. We can't hold on to leads. And then John Harbaugh, I don't even know where to start. Like I said, I think Lamar Jackson saved his career because he was definitely in the hot seat, and then Lamar got drafted, and obviously, Lamar's had a lot of success in the NFL, 2-time MVP, and I don't even know. I'm not necessarily panicking because I know at some point Lamar's going to come back, but obviously it's not looking good right now. But beating the Bears, there's a bright spot. Tyler Huntley showed flashes, but do I think that guy can lead us to the playoffs? Probably not. Do I think the season's over? I don't know. It's really hard to tell. I think hopefully Lamar comes back soon, but I don't know.
No, it's not over for the Ravens as they got an easy stretch of games coming up. They got the Dolphins, Vikings, Browns, Jets, Bengals, and then the Steelers. So, I mean, they got a pretty favorable stretch of games where they could rip off 6 wins in a row and be 7-5 with about 3 games left in the season. You'll be in prime position to put yourself into the playoff picture. So I think there's no panic on the Ravens as they're going to be getting Lamar back here pretty soon, getting healthier, and they should be fine. The next team I want to talk about is another local team, the Washington Commanders. My favorite team, and I'm panicking on them. They got a brutal schedule coming up as they got the Chiefs tonight, Seahawks, Lions, Dolphins, which is winnable, but then the Broncos and Vikings, which a lot of playoff teams in that, and there's a lot of injuries. Jane Daniels is currently hurt. He might be hurt for the next 2 games. So I'm panicking. What do you think? Do you think I should be panicking or not?
Yeah, that's understandable. The Commanders, they had a great season last year. Jaden Daniels, showed a lot of flashes in his rookie season. So, with him being hurt, I definitely understand the panic, especially with this tough schedule. You guys got the Chiefs tonight and then the Seahawks. The Seahawks, they're not a bad team. Sam Darnold, he's proven himself once again this season. So it's definitely a tough stretch with these next upcoming games. So I definitely do understand the panic.
But at the same time, Jane Daniels, when he's on the field, he looks like a MVP caliber type of player, and he just needs to be on the field. That's the biggest problem with him right now. And the next team I'm going to talk about is the Kansas City Chiefs, as they're 4-3, having a little bit of a down year. They've turned it around recently. I don't think you should panic if you're a fan of the Chiefs, even though they do have a very hard schedule coming up. They got the Commanders, obviously, tonight, which they should take care of business. They got the Buffalo Bills next week, which is going to be an instant classic. as always. And then the Indianapolis Colts. Our guy Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes, looking like a top 3 quarterback this year. Jonathan Taylor might be Offensive Player of the Year. What do you think about the Chiefs? Panic or no panic?
No panic. I
Yeah.
mean, you can never count the Chiefs out. Especially too when they have the refs on their side. That's a different conversation. But I mean,
guy, always a Ravens fan, always saying something about the refs.
a couple
Always.
years ago, the Chiefs didn't have the best start to the season, and they ended up beating the San Francisco 49ers in the Super Bowl. You just really can't count Patrick Mahomes out. I mean, he's always proven himself, and he just makes the regular play extraordinary. So there's really no panic when it comes to the Kansas City Chiefs.
And the last team I'm going to talk about is the Atlanta Falcons. They got off to a pretty decent start, going 3-2. They beat the Buffalo Bills, which was a big-time win, but then they turned around and lost their last 2 games against the 49ers and lost to a not very good Miami Dolphins team, 34-10, which is not a good look. Kirk Cousins got his first start, and I don't even know, probably about since probably a year ago. So if I'm a Falcons fan, I'm big time. Big time. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree, especially losing to the Dolphins and Tua. I mean, Tua's having such a god-awful season. I mean, the dude probably should have retired. I mean, if he takes one more hit, he's probably done. No, he is done for. It's not a probably. I mean, you just look at his interviews. I mean, the dude just kind of just says whatever. I don't think he's really all there, to be honest. I mean, he just throws pick after pick. And, you saw Tyreek Hill when he got hurt clapping when he was on the cart. He's probably happy he wasn't playing with Tua. And can you really blame him? No, you can't. I think the Miami Dolphins head coach, I think he's definitely in the hot seat too. It just seems like such an unserious organization. So I definitely would be panicking if I'm the Falcons losing to Tua. Browns, Patriots. Myles Garrett had a game. The man had 5 sacks. He was giving Will Campbell his welcome to the NFL moment, per se, and 5 sacks, and they still lost. The final score ended up being 32-13 Patriots. And Myles Garrett is seen losing his mind on the sidelines, clearly frustrated, but at the end of the day, the guy chose money over winning. You could have easily went to a contending team, but you chose money and to stay with the poverty Browns. I can't really feel bad. You did it to yourself. The poverty Browns. The Browns. You chose to stay at the Browns of all places. Are we for real? He's too good of a player to be on the Browns. He's just wasting his prime staying with the Browns. Could easily, like I said, go to a contending team and is on the Browns. Sure, yeah, he's getting money, all those individual awards like Defensive Player of the Year and all that's cool, but I don't know. I feel like championships are better. And the Browns are not winning a ring or winning a Super Bowl anytime soon. And Dylan Gabriel, I mean, a lot of controversy on whether he should be starting or not. Yesterday, he went 21 for 35, 156 yards, 2 touchdowns, but the 2 interceptions as well. Many think Shador should start. But I feel like they drafted Shador and never had any plans of him playing. I feel like they're just using his last name to sell jerseys and get the attraction that last name brings in.
I don't know. I think there's something going on inside the locker room that people don't know. Maybe he's a cancer. Maybe the teammates don't like him. There could be reasons why he's not playing, but I wouldn't be surprised if the season keeps going the same way for the Browns as they're 2-6. If Shador doesn't get some time towards the end of the year, because there can't be no negative because they're already losing. So
yeah, and
So what do you think? Do you think
could
they
be
should
right
play
about
him?
that.
Do you think they should?
I don't know. I mean, maybe he could be a cancer. I don't know. I'm not in the locker room. A lot of that stuff stays in the locker room. But my whole thing is, why would you draft 2 quarterbacks? What was the point of that? Obviously, and 2, I mean, the Browns, they're just such an unserious organization, I feel like. You get rid of Baker Mayfield, and then they had Joe Flacco, and then they trade him to a divisional rival. Makes no sense. And then just now the controversy with Dylan Gabriel and Shador. So I'm excited to see how the rest of this plays out. Perhaps Shador will get playing time towards the end of the season because at this rate, I don't think the Browns are going to make the playoffs.
Well, I do see why they traded Joe Flacco. It's because they got 2 young quarterbacks, in Dylan Gabriel and Shador Sanders, and I understand why they want to play them. But they need to get better. That's all I'm going to say. They need to get better.
Are they going to get better? It's the Browns. I know I can't say much because my Ravens are doing well, but
Well, the reason I say Shedeur Sanders could be a cancer in the locker room is because he was projected to be a first round pick, and he fell in the draft to the 5th round because of his pre-draft interviews. He was supposed to get drafted by the Baltimore Ravens, but he said he didn't want to go because he didn't want to sit behind Lamar, and Lamar ended up getting hurt this year, so he could have been seeing some run by now if he was in Baltimore. So, yeah.
I mean, who knows? Obviously, they started Cooper Rush over Tyler Huntley, so maybe Shedeur wouldn't have even started. But that's a whole nother conversation. I don't want to go into a rant about my Ravens. So I'm not going to lie, I've been pretty frustrated, especially with John Harbaugh. I have some words for that man, and Lamar saved that man's career. If it wasn't for Lamar, that dude would still not be the head coach of the Ravens.
All right, for the last topic of the episode, we talk about the World Series, the MLB World Series baseball. We got the Toronto Blue Jays and the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Los Angeles Dodgers looking to defend their title as they won last year, and the Toronto Blue Jays trying to win their first World Series in about 40-some years. So the series at this current moment is tied 1-1 in a best-of-7. So the first one to win 4 games wins. And Toronto, they came off a great series against the Seattle Mariners, winning in Game 7 of that series to advance to the World Series, and the Dodgers with a quick sweep of the Milwaukee Brewers in the NLCS to advance to the World Series. Who do you think's going to win? Who do you think's going to win, Deshaun?
Just give me Toronto.
Toronto? You want Toronto?
Yeah.
I think Toronto's could stick it out, but I think it's impossible to go against the Dodgers as they have the best player in probably all of sports, Shohei Ohtani. He does it all for him. He pitches, he hits home runs. He's just an absolute unit. Probably was made in a lab. And yep. Well, I'm Don Bonasissi.
I'm Deshaun Alexander, and that's today's episode of The Topic. Thank you for watching, and until next time. I just realized, because you know how I said global, I got to talk about the World Cup qualifiers. I just remembered that.
Not global because we talked about for today's show.
Take a look at sports.
Restart. And they were down 19-0 about 11 minutes into the fourth. No, not 11 minutes into the fourth quarter. With 11 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And what you got to say about it?
I think what this game shows is how important special teams can be.